An anonymous person on Formspring asks, do you ever get picky about what kind of paper to use if you draw traditionally? I can never draw online paper. I've drawn online paper, but only when I was in school. Nowadays, I don't do it because I always, like, whoa, what if I want to scan this later? And scanning stuff online paper, no, nova. I don't really get, well, I kind of do get picky because I have a lot of paper. I've bought a lot of paper. To be honest, my problem is that I have too much stuff in my house. I'm a consumer at heart, I do the shop therapy thing. But I lately when I go into an art store, I've gotten a lot better at walking out without buying anything. But in the past I've bought way more paper than I've ever needed. I have like the really nice Tria marker paper that you can use with alcohol-based markers like Trias and Copics. I've got Bristol. I've got that ink pad by like Winsor and Newton or whatever, which is really good for black and white ink, and I use that a lot if I'm inking traditionally. And I have some sketchbooks too, so I tend to use those a lot. Lately, what I've been using if I'm just sketching is I have the limited edition Pac-Man Moleskin, which has beautiful creamy paper. The paper is a little on the thin side, but it still holds ink kind of well. So I really like to use that. Pencils and ink show up wonderfully on it, just beautiful. And it's better because I have an actual school sketchbook that I have school stuff in, so I try not to draw too much fan stuff in there. No porn. No. Yeah. Hey. So I kind of do get picky, but only because I have enough stuff to choose from. And if I want to draw and I can't figure out what kind of paper I want to use, it does kind of tend to stall me for a little bit. But yeah, I would never draw online paper because I want it to look nice when I scan it. But other than that, I wouldn't really refuse paper. The only kind of paper I think I would actually refuse if I wanted to draw on it and I didn't have anything else, it might be watercolor paper, because watercolor paper has a rough grain to it and has a texture where if you use pencil on it, for instance, then it won't show up that well, because it's all bumpy. But then again, if you go over it in ink, it'll look really cool. So even in that sense, there's a lot of value to be made from kind of mismatching, quote unquote, mismatching materials and paper. So I kind of do get picky, but I would try not to be picky if it came to it.